Okay. Show is gonna start soon. Let me just set up a few things, and we will be right with y'all. Hello.
Hello.
Can everybody hear me?
I just realized, yeah, I was muted for a second.
Hello and welcome beyond the veil. Today we have Juhlopy with us. Juhlopy, introduce yourself. What do you do?
Hello, everybody. I'm Juhlopy. I am a variety streamer, and I am a friend of MrBelb's, or he's a friend of mine. I don't know if I'm a friend of his or not, and of 8-Bits here.
Hold on 1 second. Loppy, just if you want to adjust the
Uh,
audio.
I'm adjusting. I'm adjusting on my end. So check. I think I'm fine. Everybody, give me a check.
Check. 1 2. Check. Testing.
Check.
1 2. Testing.
We're gonna bring you both up. Okay.
Yeah, your green screen is cutting your thing out a little bit. I don't know if you can see that, just so you know.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I look like a ghost. It's sick.
Oh, okay.
That's actually just an effect.
That was last week.
That was last week, actually. So let me.
Yeah, go ahead and fix that because it's the wrong week, dude.
8-bit needs to be upped as well, even more. He's the second loudest person I've ever met. So
yeah, that's like surprising. Yeah,
How
they're saying
is
they're
your
still pretty low.
How is the desktop audio? No, your desktop audio looks good in OBS. That's weird.
that's what I'm saying.
It's
Maybe
a very low comparison to you.
Okay, well, what if I turned myself down?
That might work.
Skylo says I'm good now. I don't know about Loppy.
Okay, we
How's
good?
Loppy sound, Skylo?
I mean, they don't really need to hear me anyway. I don't think.
I very much disagree with that, but it's all good.
I'll just sit here and just wave.
Yeah, let's try that again. Juhlopy, who the fuck are you?
I am Juhlopy, a friend of 8-Bits and MrBelbs. Thank you guys for having me on here. I am a variety streamer, and I don't know a lot of urban legends, and I'm excited to learn about some because I hear you guys have quite a few.
Yeah, we got
lined up.
Yeah, we I don't know if you know this. We're kind of creepy weirdos, and we're into stuff. So
Well, that's perfect.
You're into a lot of stuff.
Into a lot of different things.
So, Belb, you want to tell them what the? I mean, obviously it's written below us.
Yeah. So today we're going to be doing urban legends. I picked some, and I kind of cheated a little bit. I picked. Not only are they kind of urban legends, they're all local to where I live or have lived. And some of them aren't even really urban legends, they're just kind of history lessons. So, my bad if that's a cheat. Keep in mind, if you want to get involved with the show, let me know either in the comments, that's fine, or if you have something that relates directly. I don't know. Maybe we'll do some open calls as far as the Discord is called. That's what's fun about live internet TV.
If you're someone that's
internet
like pretty much
TV.
here, yeah, internet TV. That's what I call it. Well, Belb calls it, and I started calling it the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, I was told a term yesterday called interactive television, and I really like that.
Yes.
You know what they
that's
did?
the best way to describe Twitch, right? Interactive television.
Have you seen that? And this is kind of related because I think that that show Black Mirror kind of has some urban legend aspects to it, I guess. But there's a season or an episode, a really long one at least. It's literally like a choose your own adventure, like series, like that one particular. I can't remember the name of the actual like episode or whatever it was, but it was pretty.
I've seen all of them though. I love all of those.
Yeah, Black Mirror is a great show. We are not sponsored by Black Mirror, but if Netflix wants to hit up MrBelb, he is definitely open for any kind of opportunity. We
Audible,
appreciate you, Netflix.
Kirby vacuums, tea of any kind, and probably eggs. Hit me up. I would love to get sponsored by any of those four.
Yeah.
So today,
I mean, who wouldn't?
Dude, I love eggs. Of course, we know Juhlopy loves eggs.
I know he also loves pickles.
Dude, dudes, don't.
Lies.
Don't bring that
All the lies.
Don't bring that toxicity to the show, dude.
Sorry.
Okay, so please, viewer discretion is advised. Some of the shit that we might be talking about might be
especially mine.
Especially mine. They are either opinions, theories, and nobody means to hurt anybody. Seriously, if you don't like what's being said, please tell me about it. All right, who wants to go first?
Well, I don't have anything.
You know what? Hold on. You know what? Juhlopy mentioned one thing that I've never heard of. He probably has a very I don't know how in depth you were saying that you don't know much about it, but this thing called the Mothman. I don't know what that is.
Really?
8-Bit, you've never heard of the Mothman? You're
Never
gonna
heard of the Mothman.
love the Mothman.
So
I feel like that's up 8-Bit's alley for
It
sure.
is.
well, one of the things that I think two of the things that I have are like kind of in the same vein as from what I'm looking at the Mothman.
It's a cryptoid. It's it's a lot like Bigfoot or whatever. They filmed it. There was a film taken of it on a bridge, and then like a week to the day later, the bridge fell down,
Collapsed with like hundreds of people on it.
Yeah, it was it was a horrible tragedy. Now, there's people that say Mothman did it, and there's people that say Mothman was warning people that there was something wrong with the bridge. Mothman, good guy or villain?
Ooh. I've never heard of Mothman being even questioned as the good guy. That's interesting.
Well, I think I feel like there could be. I mean, the Bigfoot, like a whole Bigfoot thing. This isn't really. Is Bigfoot a bit of folklore, urban legend?
Yeah, I mean, it's a cryptid.
Yeah. I think the assumption for anything that like is we don't like know or understand is kind of just fear. So I think like inherently people are just gonna think it's gonna try and attack you or kill you.
All right,
no matter really what it is. Especially a thing called the Mothman.
Mothman's evil. We sorted that out.
I think it. I'm not saying I think it's evil. It's probably not. If it's real, I doubt it's evil. It's probably just flying around trying to like, I don't know. How big is this thing? Let me see.
Oh, it's big.
It was big.
It's
like
large
huge.
flying man with 10-foot wings. Yeah, that's a big fucking boy. Yeah. That is a big fucking boy.
With like glowing red eyes. They made a movie about it.
Yeah, they
did?
Yeah,
with Richard Gere.
Was it any good?
I liked it, but I liked those it was kind of corny.
Well, I mean,
but not really. It was just made in like
it
was made in like the 90s though, so it's like it's what you would expect.
Yeah.
Wait, wasn't it called the Mothman Chronicles?
Mothman Prophecies.
Prophecies, that's what it was. Yeah, no, that definitely, it's ringing a bell.
Mothman Prophecies.
Yeah, so Mothman, that's the one that Juhlopy brought to the
that's
the table.
All I had. Yeah, I don't know much about it, but I do know I enjoyed the movie a lot.
And 8-Bit.
Oh, it was an actually good movie. I feel like a lot of these like urban legend turned movie, like horror movies, are really like sweaty and like just not scary at all, and they just keep leaning into. I'm trying to think of like a specific example. I mean, some of my examples kind of would fall into this, but this seems like something. Like, what was the main point of the movie? Was it just following the Mothman, or was it like an investigation was being done?
It was very much like Blair Witch Project style, like where they did interviews with people, and there was like a lot of like raw footage type things and stuff like that. So
I'm into that.
It was interesting. I like that. It was interesting. I definitely recommend it.
That sounds cool. I actually. And you said who is the main actor? Is it Richard Gere?
I believe. Yeah.
That's pretty sick. I gotta check this thing out.
I grew up about 45 minutes from where this all happened. So that's the only reason I think I really know about it.
Where did this originally happen? Was it?
It was in West Virginia, near the tri-state of Ohio.
Dude, I can't believe that. So I was gonna mention in one of my urban legends, one of them is literally based in West Virginia.
West Virginia's got some stuff happening over there.
It's not this. Surely ain't this. But this is fucking interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, the question is like, I know like do you think there's a Mothman? Asking you, Juhlopy, do you think there's the Mothman?
I think. Oh, man, how do you answer that?
I think people think there's a Mothman.
I think people think there's a Mothman. I think the people that saw the Mothman truly believe that they saw the Mothman.
So, we're gonna do a future episode of about the cave, which is it's what all philosophy is based on. But like, who's to say the Mothman isn't real when your perception? You know what I'm saying?
We talked about this last episode, where it was basically like, even if you did see it, and I think my mind would also work in a similar way, is that like, that seems so far fetched that there would be a 10-foot tall Mothman flying around that I would keep looking for ways to like disprove it and be like,
Right.
there's
How
no fucking way. That is like mind shattering.
how are you
Well,
gonna
what makes
how
what
are you
makes
gonna
it so-
sit there
sorry.
and tell me that a 10-foot flying creature that's only been seen a couple of times is far fetched?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm also curious about. How many sightings like?
Well,
have there
that's what I
actually
was
been
about
of
to
this?
say. Was
Oh, okay.
I think there were quite a few, I
There
guess,
really?
accounts
Yes.
of people seeing this.
Yes, there
Like
there
that were
was.
like on separate accounts, people that didn't know each other, anything like that. Like multiple witnesses, apparently. That's the only thing that makes me question. Like, okay, what were they seeing?
Yeah, that's fucking nuts.
Whether it's a
Is it-
Mothman or just a giant ass bat, what were they seeing?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Is it just does this really only like the sightings? Do they only occur in West Virginia, or has it like been more widespread since this got?
I
Like,
think it was just in
popularized?
West Virginia.
Yeah,
See, that's interesting. Because normally, like, and this goes for like Bigfoot too, right? Like, the phenomenon kind of takes off, gets a lot of public media attention,
Mhm.
and they kind of start popping up all over the place. If this was just consolidated to West Virginia, I find that odd.
Yeah.
It's almost even more interesting than like
Yeah.
it making sighting like over in Beijing and then in
Right.
West Virginia and then Alaska.
Right.
That it's
It's not
located
the
in one.
coronavirus.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a moth. I mean, I guess it could fly over there. Sure.
Yeah, but I don't know. Being that big, you gotta eat a lot of what do moths eat? Sweaters. You have to eat a lot of
It
sweaters.
reminds me
Well,
of the movie like Jeepers Creepers. It kind of reminds me
Oh,
of
yeah.
that. Not the movie itself, just the actual like Mothman itself.
I can see that. It definitely.
Like it only comes around so many years or goes in hibernation. Like what are those bugs that hibernate?
Like cicadas that just went
Cicadas,
back,
yeah.
They just went back underground, dude. Thank
Right.
fucking God.
Maybe
They
it
were
was just
so loud.
maybe it was just the queen cicada people were seeing.
I would really.
The queen cicada. That would be even scarier.
I think
It's like
I
a giant cicada. Oh my God, dude.
all of the cicadas crawl into the ground to appease their queen, and then the queen escaped one day, and then the
One
bridge
day.
fell down.
I think we have a hit movie on our hands with
that-
It sounds good.
That's disgusting, and I hate it.
Yeah.
What do we
Dave-
call it? They call it the swarm.
no,
That's gotta be moving him already.
no,
No, the brood. The brood.
The Brood. That's good. Yeah. So, Sony, feel free to contact any of us.
No,
about,
just no. We already landed. We're already working on Netflix, so don't bring Sony.
Okay, Netflix. Go ahead and
hit us up.
hit us
we
up.
got good ideas.
Dave Great said they made a movie about the Jersey Devil. It was cool.
Yes, they did, and that's one of my.
That's one of 8
I'm
bits.
so excited to hear about some of these because I don't know
So
about
let
any
me-
of these. I love them.
So I think this is a good. I can start just because of the fact that if we're going off the Mothman, the one that I was mentioning previously, it's not in West Virginia, but it's in Virginia. So so have you guys ever heard of the Bunny Man?
Donnie Darko or what?
Oh yeah, maybe that had some influence on it. I don't know. So one of the interesting things, and I also had one of these in where I was growing up. It was like 3 or 4 towns over. The story that I heard about. I'll go with mine first, just to kind of give you like an example of how widespread these kind of things are. So basically, there was this urban legend that if you parked under a specific, small little bridge, and I can't remember what you did in the car. I believe you just sat there with your lights off, if I remember correctly. There was a girl who died on her prom night over the bridge because she was like decapitated or something because a car like ran into her straight on and just cut her head off. And the legend was that if you sat there for a certain amount of time, she would appear in her prom dress and essentially, from what I understand, she wouldn't do anything, she would just make herself known and just
There
kind of
was
stand there.
sightings.
Did
But
she
it
have a
wasn't
head or not when she stood there?
I believe, from what I heard, I think she had a head. I don't remember that part, but
So-
This
I did
sounds
it,
oddly
and I can
familiar.
tell you it didn't happen. So
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you actually did it.
yeah, I love that shit. I would go, like I was telling Belb last show, like I would go urban exploring around where I was from. We had a place called Kings Park Psychiatric Facility, which was closed down. It's this massive psychiatric facility on Long
I
Island.
went to one of those it's called in Athens, Ohio, called the Ridges.
So-
Super
Yeah.
haunted and stuff.
So, real quick, Mr. Bell channel and Twitch, nor does Amazon advocate for anybody to do any serious trespassing.
Oh yeah, don't do
Right.
this.
Yeah.
Don't do what I did. Sorry, I probably should have said that previously. Don't trespass on private property.
Yeah, it's
no.
super dangerous.
I mean, it wasn't.
I mean,
it's definitely
some
Like the place I went to, they actually did tours of it, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, there was a psychiatric hospital in Rhode Island in a place called Exeter. It was called the Lad Center, and kids would go in and like poke around and look for ghosts because they used to do lobotomies on like people with special needs and stuff way back in the day, and
Sorry, go ahead.
and a couple of kids got injured beyond repair, or some of them may have even died. I've heard some pretty gruesome things. Some kid splashed another kid with something he found, and it turned out it was something really caustic, and it melted his face. I think he ended up dying.
That sounds like an urban legend.
Well, I mean,
That literally sounds like that sounds. I mean, what like caustic material would they have sitting in a psychiatric facility
well, you have to understand that the
to
people
melt your face?
the people lived there. It was also like kind of like a school type thing, so there would have been like a lot of maintenance or stuff. So the fact that there might have been something, it's not too far fetched. But
Okay,
I can see that.
fair enough.
don't go poking around in old hospitals because you're gonna
It's the
get
moral of the
splashed in the
story.
face
Yeah.
with
Your
acid.
face will melt off if you go into an old hospital.
Yep, it will, for one reason or another.
There's also other dangers involved, like squatters and stuff that aren't necessarily always looking
Yeah.
to say hello. How are you doing?
Yeah. But let's get into some of these lists.
Yeah, so Bunnyman Bridge, right? Sorry. So I was explaining my whole thing, my experience. So this is based in Fairfax Station, Virginia. Juhlopy, I don't know if you're familiar with that. Possibly.
What part?
It's called Fairfax Station, Virginia.
Nope.
I'd have to look it up.
So essentially, very, very not bare bones, but essentially what happens, but convicts escaped an insane asylum nearby, and there was like in 1970s reports of some like crazed man in a white outfit, which like at the same time it could have also been someone in a Klan outfit also, especially considering the area from what the sources are mentioning. But basically, the story goes that you basically go to this. It's called the Colchester overpass.
Yeah.
Essentially, you'd go there, and I don't think there's like a time limit, but there's like the specter of an axe murderer that escaped the asylum, along with 3 others who were never found. One of them was like he was decapitated and hanged from the bridge, with a note that said like, I think it just said Bunny Man on it. It just said the Bunny Man on it. Yeah. And there was like a number of like half-eaten rabbits like found around the area. This dude's just running around eating rabbits and hanging people and chopping their heads off. So the end of the story was that the Bunnyman was captured and he was killed, and the legend goes that if you go to this bridge, I'm not sure if there's like a specific thing you need to do. I'm pretty sure you just go there and stand there. Is the bunny man supposed to appear and kill you, chop your head off?
Oh,
It's a lot more violent
So-
than the one that I heard about some girl appearing. I'm like,
So-
dude, I gotta be so violent.
Yeah,
so if all goes to plan, you die.
yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
See, it really sounds. In comparison, the bunny man really makes that the prom girl sound really fucking lazy.
Yep. Well, not lazy, dude. It's like I don't know. I'm not even sure. Like, I wish I knew the name of the street too. I don't remember it.
She just stands there.
Yeah, I mean, but like, it's also do you not want? Okay, so what would you rather go see a ghost that's gonna kill you?
I don't want to see any ghost.
Well, that's where you and I differ, dude.
Yeah,
wanna see-
I'm okay. I'm okay seeing ghosts. I'm okay.
Have
with
you seen it? Oh man, I wish you were. Have you seen a ghost before?
I don't know that I've seen. I have sleep paralysis, so I feel like I've seen ghosts, but I haven't. It's just sleep paralysis. But I've definitely had unexplainable things happen often in my life.
Yeah.
Like very.
Yeah, I wish we had your last episode. We gotta cut you there, Juhlopy, because we can't talk about ghosts anymore. This is urban legends.
That's right.
Keep it on topic, Juhlopy, because I totally didn't derail that.
Do I go?
Yeah. I mean, generally, end of the story. Basically, yeah. I just think it's interesting.
That is interesting.
I don't know if either of you have heard similar stories, or anyone in chat has heard about some bridge in your area that you stand under. And
What is it with bridges always being like the?
I don't know.
Bridges are like almost like a primal fear type thing. You know, it's like an unknown thing.
Maybe it's a metaphor for like connecting the dead with the living or something.
It could be. It could be an allegory. That's very true.
100%.
So my first pick is not as common, or it doesn't show up. Mine's very Rhode Island specific. A lot of people don't realize is that Little Rhode Island, the state in which Family Guy is filmed, is actually the vampire capital of the world, excluding Transylvania. But there was more confirmed, and I say that very loosely, more confirmed vampires in Rhode Island than just the one in Transylvania.
Confirmed?
Yes, kinda.
In what way do you confirm a vampire?
Vampirism, it was at the state level, was an actual disease. And,
Wow.
Okay,
and
go on.
And people were diagnosed after they had died with vampirism. And there are several in Rhode Island. So when I say confirmed, I mean a doctor goes, well, clearly this is a case of vampirism.
Clearly that's a vampire.
So there are a few, and I want to get the dates right here. So there's a few in they're both in Exeter, Rhode Island, again. Very weird place. I've visited both vampire graves that I'm going to be discussing in person. First, there was Mercy Brown, is the really famous one. We'll get to her, but Sarah Tillinghast is one that they really graze over. So
I'm sorry about the dog.
it's totally cool.
Oh, you're fine.
Okay, so in 1777, Sarah Tillinghast was born, and she ended up dying in 1799. So she was only 21, 22 years old. Her father, before she had passed, had a dream where He had all they were farmers, had all these, and it's weird because it's kind of sounds like something biblical almost. He had a dream where half of his apple orchard died off, and the other half was totally fine. And this worried him a lot because this dream, it was very, very strong. His daughter then became sick and died, and that sucks.
For sure.
But
Agreed.
one by one, the children started saying, I talked to Sarah last night. What do you mean? You know, oh, she sat on top of me while I was sleeping and did something funny with my chest.
Fuck that.
Okay. So this would go on, and then the child that was experiencing this came down with consumption, tuberculosis, coughed up blood, and then they would die. And then another one would say, I've been seeing Sarah at night, and then they would get sick and die of consumption. And this happened until half of his family had actually passed away. I had the chance to actually talk to somebody whose last name was Tillinghast. And I talked to them about the history of their vampire ancestors. And there's actually a book called Vampires of Rhode Island that this person and their father were interviewed for about
Oh wow.
about Sarah. But the one that's very popular, Bram Stoker, the author of Dracula, carried around newspaper clippings from the Mercy Brown case. It was a huge inspiration for Dracula. So
Really?
Yes. So Mercy Brown, she was 19 years old, and she died in 1892. So the way the story goes is she died of consumption, which, you know, that's the thing. Consumption and vampirism are really strongly linked in these stories. What with the blood in the mouth and stuff. And anyway, she passed away, and she was not able to be buried right away because she died. You couldn't dig, so there's a crypt off to the right. When you go to visit her gravestone, on the other side you can actually see the crypt that they kept her in. So they kept her in there, and people were saying that they kept seeing her walk around doing this, that, and the other thing. And that was creep. So they eventually buried her. And again, people said that they kept seeing her walking about. Her brother started getting consumption, and the way to cure vampirism, at least according to Rhode Island doctors, was to exhume the body of the vampire, cut out their heart, burn it, and then feed the ashes to the family member who has...
What?
Yes, this is a real thing. So
We had the exact same
Get
reaction.
the fuck out of here, dude.
Okay.
Are you fucking serious?
I'm
Here, eat your dead kid?
or in this
Or
case,
it was
it was the sister. So
Oh
what
my
they
God,
did
dude.
was they exhumed her body, and when they popped open the casket, it was said to be the most beautiful corpse. Now, she should have started decaying at this point, but
How long was this?
this was I mean, first of all, it was winter, so that doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's
Yeah.
whatever.
But how long was she underground at that point? Like,
It had to have
give or
been at
take.
least it had, from what I understand, it was at least a few months.
yeah, that should have been decaying.
It
At
should
least a
have
little bit.
it should
Oh
have
yeah, 100%.
eldest daughter. I'm seeing if I can just skim it. Anyway, they dug her up. She looked fine. She looked absolutely fine. So that's when they, you know, cut open.
So they actually did it.
Yes, they cut open the heart. As far as I understand the story, they cut open her chest cavity, pulled out her heart, which, by the way, according to the legend, still had blood in it that was not coagulated.
Oh,
What?
wow.
Yeah. There's a rock right next to the headstone, and that's where they actually burned the thing. They did it right then and there, right at the cemetery.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, so,
Here, let me
So
pull.
they-
Let me pull up a picture of this, of what I'm talking about.
so they burned the okay, so what happened to the sister that ate the
The bro-
ashes? Did she get like cured? That'd be crazy.
That
So
would be nuts.
so from what I understand, I think it was a brother, and the brother ended up dying of consumption.
Wow.
So,
That's some asshole doctor right there. Eat your
uh,
sister and then die still. Wasn't he supposed to be cured?
I
Because the
mean,
consumption was vampirism to them?
yeah, dude.
That's fucking stupid.
But
How-
that's what's that?
Where did this doctor get his degree?
I know. Like how did that
Did
shit
he
always
just start
gets me, like-
calling himself doctor one day?
Yeah, he's like, I'm a doctor. I know exactly how to cure vampirism, dude. All you gotta do is burn the body and feed it to the person. Obviously, dude. That's
Yeah,
insane.
that's the
How,
most
how do you
obvious.
reach that conclusion? This is the only way to do it. And they're like,
Like, when
isn't there anything else we could do? No.
Nope.
This is the way.
I mean,
Okay.
I would imagine as a doctor, they train you to look for the most logical, scientific, medical reason for things,
1890,
not
dude.
vampire.
It is 1890.
1890.
Wow.
So this here is the crypt. Actually, my wife, Mrs. Belb, love her. Beautiful, inside and out. We, on one of our dates, I brought her here, because that's what you do as
guess.
I can't think of a more romantic.
It's
That's
a romantic
romantic, dude.
story. They dug up a
Right.
woman and carved her up in front of her family, probably,
And fed her to them.
and then used the heart ashes as a medication that didn't work, from what I understand.
That is
Anyway, this is the crypt, and it's still there to this day, and it still looks just as plain and as it is there now. So you're gonna notice that in these photos, most of them at least. Let's see if I can find one. Here we go. This is a good one. They actually had to.
You could transfer to the other screen, by the way, and make it even easier.
Oh my goodness, we have a screen for this. We have a screen for this. All right, so
I really, really like that background.
It's nice, right? It's like spooky and but
Yeah,
also kind of
perfect.
nice.
Kind of peaceful, but like
I know.
also,
It's like
also a
it's-
dragon could fly in and eat you out of nowhere.
Is this it?
okay, this is it. Okay, let me just fix it a little here. This is the grave of Mercy Brown of Exeter, Rhode Island. this is the famous stone in which it took place. Nowadays, if you go to visit Mercy Brown, the actual site, they have bolted the headstone down because somebody stole it for a long time. It was missing.
They found it,
And somebody brought it back. They left it on the police. It was one of those things where it's like, listen, if you've got the headstone, bring it back, like, now, and no questions. We won't there's no charges, nothing.
Just bring it back.
Just bring it back and put it on the side of the whatever, and we'll call it a day.
Let me put out another possibility here to you. They took that thing and then they got haunted by this bitch for a while and was like,
Yeah.
I don't want it. Take this back from me.
I was thinking the same thing. Until he said the whole, like, just bring it back. We won't, like, pursue this.
I mean, that's probably the more logical explanation.
But it could be. I mean, I don't know. But I don't know why she would be so pissed about a gravestone missing.
Yeah, I think I'd be more pissed about the exhuming of the body, and the carving of the heart, and then the burning it, and then feeding it to the sibling.
Yeah. You're not wrong. I'd be upset about that as well.
You know, anyway, that is Rhode Island vampires.
That's cool. I didn't know about that.
Yep,
I guess there was a time when vampires were like a legitimate scare for people.
And witches, they were terrified of that shit.
Witches, vampires, warlocks, all that stuff.
Hey. Don't go into witches, because that's my next pick.
Oh.
That ain't my problem, bro.
That is your problem if you're going to be spoiling my shit, dog. All right.
Gotcha. I got two of my things. I got two of my things pulled from chat, actually.
All right. So.
Do you? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, you're. If you want to.
I'd love to
do your next pick.
I'd love to.
This is really cool, by the way, guys. I like this.
You like this?
Thanks,
good,
dude.
Jalopy.
This
You know,
is fun.
if you guys listen, if you guys don't know Juhlopy, he's a good friend of both 8-Bit and I. Please follow the channel.
Yo, can I get a? Here, let me get a.
Not necessary. I just wanted to know this is really cool. I really like this.
Yeah, but like, you know,
you don't know him. Now you do. Follow him now.
But
now,
good buddy of mine. Follow him now. What are you, a bitch? All right.
That's
so
how you command an audience. That's
yeah,
how you command an audience.
That's how you do. That's how you do.
That's how you make a shout out.
That's Twitch.
Don't be a little bitch.
Yeah.
What are you, a bitch? That's
what are you, a little slogan. It basically is. He says it all the time.
Why does anybody watch me? I just berate them with insults. All right. What do you got for us, 8-Bit?
Oh, I got something. This one is. I'm actually gonna read the story. So this is one of those things. I heard it when I was a kid. It's one of those things that people tell each other. I probably heard it probably way too young, to be honest, which probably explains my interest in like horror movies and stuff like that. But it's I'll let you know. I'll read the story and then I'll give you a little background. All right. Yeah, you got music playing in the background?
Yeah.
Be perfect for this. All right, cool. All right. I'm gonna just read it. I'm not gonna do any stupid voices though. All right. One night, not too long ago, a young woman. It says about our age, so just assume you're a kid. Our age is home alone with her dog and reveling in solitude. Smart, practical, and self-sufficient, she doesn't panic when an alert on her phone informs that a serial killer has escaped from a nearby prison. I just want to sidebar. You should absolutely panic if you're home alone as a kid and the serial killer has escaped from a nearby prison. Or as an adult, exactly. Either or. With her dog at her heels, she surveys the house, locks the doors and windows, curls up with her dog in bed, finishes her book, and drifts off to sleep. The girl soon awakens. She hears a distant dripping sound. Half awake, she checks the kitchen, faucets, but gives up and returns to bed, receiving a lick on her hand from her loyal dog in comfort. Aw. Again, she's roused from slumber by the drip, 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 feels the reassuring lick, and then falls back to sleep. But the third time, she hops out of bed, determined to locate the source of the incessant noise, and heads for her bathroom. When she flips on the light, the scene that greets her is horrific. Her beloved dog is hanging from the shower nozzle with its throat cut, the blood dripping onto ceramic on the tub. Screaming, the girl runs back into the wall behind her and collapses. Sobbing for the loss of her best friend and terrified by the unimaginable crime, through tears she scans and assesses the rest of the room. She stands up, turns around, and there, on the bathroom wall, someone has written in dog's blood, "Humans can lick too."
That's fucked up.
This one fucked me up. I
have dogs here, and I'm terrified to go to sleep now.
We've had a trigger warning, dude. Sorry. You knew what you got into.
I guess. My goodness.
But yeah.
Why would you say that series of words to me?
Sorry, dude. What do you mean to do? This is an urban legend.
Is trippy.
So what's crazy about this is it kind of, to me, when I first heard it, it sounds like something I'm like, oh, this is probably a story that was made in like, I don't fucking, the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Serial killers were really hyper popularized at that point. The really interesting thing about this is that it's called The Legend of the Licked Hand, is at least 146 years old.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yep. Printed version was published in 1871 by an author named M.R. James in the Diary of Mr. Pointer. So what's super, super interesting, I mean, not only the fact that it's just so old and it seems to like, it resonates very heavily, I think, with any time period, I guess, because it really didn't change much from the original version.
It's really timeless.
Yeah. So basically, this thing is constantly being retold over and over again. Like, I forgot about it completely for a long time, and then for some reason I was like probably browsing like Reddit, like the creepypasta Reddit or whatever, and it came back up. I'm like, holy shit! I forgot that this like story gave me. This is the only story I can remember in my recollection of actually being like thoroughly terrified from being told, like just told by a friend. Like it wasn't anything visual. It was just, it's like the imagery of it all, like the feeling that like it's the the feeling that the only comfort you have is just like tossed away. And then how it's gonna probably end. It kind of ends there, the story. But she fucking got killed for sure.
I'd imagine.
And she,
Whether
I mean,
it's
she
a heart
had
attack or murder.
Yeah,
yeah.
You might be able to live after that, but you don't live well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're never putting your foot out of the blankets to cool down at night ever again.
No.
But like, yeah. So I just think it's super. First of all,
I don't like that.
It's a really fucking scary urban legend. It still scares me because it's something that's like like I said, like anyone can really feel like I don't know, fear from, just because of the fact that it's not even something supernatural. It's literally just like this fucking disgusting.
That's what makes it creepy.
Exactly.
So it's real. Like it easily could have happened.
That's what's right, and especially with like how widespread serial killers and stuff have been, and how it's been so popular.
What is it about older stories that make them more believable? Because is it because there was really no reason to make that kind of stuff up back then? There was no social media. There was no like, I mean, I don't know how they were going to get famous from it or anything.
I don't know how popular the story was when it got released, but this thing spread like wildfire. Like, I don't know if anyone in chat actually recognizes that story. I certainly remember it being told that, but just that it's being spread in such a way where, when I was growing up, back in my day, we didn't really have, as much access, infinite access on the internet as we do now.
Right.
So this is all being spread by word of mouth for the most part. Like, it was sure, like you could probably, I'm sure it's documented in books, like the one I mentioned, and it's probably kind of spin-offs in a way of that story. But the fact that it's so widespread, like they literally have like folklorists that study this specific story as like a as like a base for understanding how this like these stories spread and how they permeate throughout society so like intensely. um but yeah, that's my story. It's fucking scary.
That is creepy.
I was reading it till I was picking all these out, and I literally I after reading it, I like turned all my fucking lights on. It was like in the middle of the night too. I was fucking terrified.
He
I
looked
was
under
like,
his bed. He's checking
locked
the
all my
closet.
windows, shades down, bro. I was freaking out. I was, but yeah, that's the end of it.
See, I'm that weird guy that loves that kind of stuff. Like
Me too.
2 a.m. in the morning, I'm going to be sitting in the dark watching a scary movie by myself, just trying to get that thrill of like the fear. It's weird. I don't know why I enjoy that so much, but
I don't know either.
But then when it
I'm the
happens
same
and I
way.
actually do get scared, then I'm like, why did I do this? I don't like this.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
want
the
to be
worst.
scared anymore.
And then it's like impossible to fall asleep, and you're like, why the fuck did I do this so late? It's so dumb. Yeah, it's I'm very similar. Belb, and I don't want to speak for him, but I know he's not a crazy horror fan, but
I feel like nothing would scare MrBelb. Period.
Oh, that's a lie.
Yeah, pretty much everything does.
Everything scares him, dude.
If we're being honest, but
yeah, but Belb, I'll give it to you.
it was August in
You got a story too?
in 1611.
Ooh.
Over in England, a man is or a baby's born by the name of Giles Corey.
That's a fucking name right there.
It is.
It is.
Eventually, he made his way over to the United States, where in 1692 he lived in Salem, Massachusetts. Those of you who know about Salem, Massachusetts know that this is not going well for Mr. Corey. He was an old man. He was a farmer. And he was accused of being a witch. Now, he was not the first one that was being a witch, but he's one of the more famous. He did not budge when they said, "Are you a witch?" through interrogation and stuff. He didn't budge. They even tortured him, and it led to his death, and he did not budge. He did not give a plea either for or against being a witch.
Wow.
So his wife was arrested before him. And then he was accused. How did she do?
What did she do to get arrested?
It's just like they tend to do that. They're like any.
They just did that. Yeah,
somebody just assume like, well, if he's a witch, she's probably a fucking witch too.
So,
or at least it's like kind of even having a relationship with that the unwanted.
So he was said to have his wife first was arrested. And him shortly after, they both had written their name in the devil's book. During the Salem witch trials, that was how it was done. The first person to be accused of being a witch was actually a slave from the Caribbean. Of course, she was dark. She was a black lady, and one of the little girls in Salem had survived a Native American attack, and her parents had died in it. This is how the Salem witch trials started. What happened up in Maine, the Native Americans retaliated and attacked a small village, and she had really bad PTSD from it. she did not like the color of this woman's skin. This is my explanation of the Salem witch trials. But the first person was this slave, and when they pointed the finger at her and said she cursed us with her voodoo magic and whatever, she said, "Yep, I'm a witch." That was the first thing. They pointed the finger at her, and she didn't deny it. She said, "Yes, I'm a witch." And guess who else is too? And then just started slinging names around.
Oh yeah, yep.
So that's how it started.
This motherfucker.
So
that's kind of genius.
If you're taking me out, you're taking everybody out.
If I'm going down, I'm bringing you all with me. That's genius.
I mean, because they knew they weren't going to get away with it. They're like, well, they're going to do it, so I might as well just fucking get these people killed because they're probably at the forefront of. Go ahead, Bill.
That's crazy.
I'm trying to let me find her name. Her name was like I know it's not tibia. I think that's a bone.
You can probably go back to the other screen.
I think
just
that's
saying.
a bone.
Tituba.
Close.
Tituba, yeah. So she was she was accused of being, hold on, I'm gonna go back to the other screen. So she said, yeah, I've got she said, yeah, these are all the fools I saw in the book. So they went around and they gathered up those people, and then those people would put blame on other people, and so it happened. And I think 19 people were killed within the trial there in 1692. Now, what's important about Giles Corey is he was like very old. I think he was like 80, which is like
80
nuts. Yeah, well, he was born in 1611, right? And he died in 1692. That's okay. 81 years.
What is the average lifespan of people?
I was going to say that's an old age for that.
That seems incredibly high.
The average age, I don't know, 25.
It's got to be low. No, it's probably like 40. It's probably like 40s.
So, but the thing is so anyway, he did not have a plea at all. He didn't plead guilty or innocent. So the law stated that if somebody didn't go either way, they technically weren't guilty, but they weren't innocent. So you were allowed to press them. Now, pressing is...
Oh my god, dude.
Is when they strip you nude, and they cover you in a board, and then they start adding rocks.
Can I pause you for 1 second?
Yes.
So, at first, when you said that, and I was thinking about it in terms of how the legal system works kind of now, when you said you're allowed to press them, I was like, you question them harder. And then my brain clicked. I was like, oh, he's talking about the fucking torture.
The torture.
Like, that pressing.
So
physically pressed.
They tried to
physically press.
They wanted him to plead innocent or guilty, so they pressed this old man. They stripped him down, covered him with a board, and started adding rocks and boulders. What happened is if you have nasty bread and you're allowed to give it to him, and then 3 days later, every 3 days you get nasty water to drink, but you get bread to eat. Okay, nasty bread, and that's supposed to break you so that you say something. They kept asking him, we don't want to do this. Say, yes or no. Right. The very last words he ever said before he was eventually crushed to death, was a huge fuck you to the whole system. They said, go ahead, confess. He looked right at him and said, more weight.
Oh,
They put it on him and he died.
That's you know what that's similar
Wow.
to? Who was the I think there was a guy that was I don't think he was a serial killer. I think he was on death row. And it's literally from what I've been told, maybe this is an urban legend also, but from what I understand, is this is where Nike got their slogan, the Just Do It one.
Oh, really?
What?
Yeah. They were like, do you have any last words or whatever? He's like, just do it.
John Wayne Gacy's last words were "kiss my ass."
Yep.
That doesn't surprise me at all. That guy's
He's a real
fuck
piece of
that
shit.
guy.
Yeah.
Sorry, but yeah, that's interesting. That's fucking badass.
Also, one of the most well, the whole thing is fucked, but one of the worst parts of the Salem witch trials was there was a man, and I don't have any of the names. I don't have any of the names on me, so it's gonna sound like, you know, it's gonna sound horseshit. It is. There was the guy who wrote a witch hunting manual. Okay, he wanted to see. He wanted to go to Salem because the whole thing was breaking out. So he eventually went. And part of his book literally says that he wrote. It says that a witch that is bound to Satan's book cannot read the Lord's Prayer. So
there you go. Make him read the prayer.
He arrives in town, and they're stringing this guy up to hang him. And the guy starts in on it. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. And he says the entire Lord's Prayer front to back. And the guy looks right at him and says, hang him. And they hung him right then and there.
What?
Yep. That's an actual occurrence of the Salem witch trials. Is the dude rode in the nick of time to save this guy because his book said it. And the guy knew it. And he said it in front of the guy, the author. And he said, do it anyway. So,
fuck that.
19 people died during the Salem witch trials as a result of literal racism. You know, because somebody reminded somebody else of something that went bad. And superstition got to him. And in my opinion, superstition and faith cannot live side by side. You're either if you are a person who has a spiritual path, you cannot be a superstitious person, and vice versa. These people, they took themselves out with superstitions,
Right.
and that's the story of Giles Corey.
Giles Corey.
Yep,
Rest in peace, Giles, dude.
all of them, all 19 of them. You know,
That's rough.
Yep, certainly is.
I mean, he lived it till 80. Maybe he was a witch.
Maybe.
Living that old, dude, 80 years old in the 1600s, bro. I don't know. You're doing something right,
bro. 1692.
He just ate a lot of vegetables, man.
He was a
Hold on,
farmer.
let me look. 1692 average life expectancy.
Lifespan.
I'm sure.
U.S. male. Let's see. Few live to their full life expectancy of 40. Dude, that guy was a witch.
Whoa, Giles Corey.
How are you going to call Giles Corey a witch? First of all, I want to say this.
Got him.
I want to say this, okay? I didn't. Okay, he was absolved of his crimes, by the way, in 1712. So a few years later, you're off the hook. And also, I wanna let you guys know that his Martha Corey She was hung 3 days later.
Oh my gosh.
So they got her too.
Well, she didn't deserve it. She probably wasn't 80.
That's a rough.
No, she probably wasn't. This was Giles's third marriage.
That's a rough week she had.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're right.
That was a rough week for her.
Did 8-Pit, did you want to go into another one? You got something?
I'll go another one. I got something for you. Well, I got a few, so I'm trying to decide which one I want to do. What do we do? The lit town? Okay, we'll do something. So we're gonna travel to Japan. And there is a urban legend there known as and I apologize if I'm pronouncing this wrong, but the Kuchisake Onna. Does anyone know what that is here?
No,
but you drew me in with Coochie.
That's not okay. So this is gonna sound like a joke or whatever, but that's not the yokai that spreads its ass in front of you, right? Okay.
No,
because that
sounds amazing.
We have to circle back to that. Though.
Wait. That's a thing.
Yeah, there's like a spirit, a demon, or a ghost that spreads
like an angel.
It spreads its ass at you, and it has an eyeball instead of an anus, and like it spooks you out.
Well, you should have opened with that.
Oh,
you said she just shows you your butt. Shows her.
I feel like this entire show could have just revolved around that.
Yeah, we could have made a whole show about that.
That's stupid and true.
The Kuchisake Onna is a yokai though, so
okay,
good job. Just as a brief overview, real quick, she's basically a yokai of a woman that was mutilated by her husband and then returns as a malicious spirit. So essentially, from my understanding, this urban legend was kind of recent. I think it started in like the 70s. Let me just make sure I got this. Yeah, it started spreading in the 1970s.
Spreading?
And the legend.
Not the cheek.
I did a quick Google search of that, and I hate that. Please continue. It just startled me. Sorry.
No, it's all good.
It's horrible.
The one I'm talking about?
Yep.
Oh yeah, it's not good. So, just as a overview of like a lot of the Japanese some of the Japanese beliefs in terms of spirits is like spirits of the dead who were killed in particularly violent ways, like abused wives like her, or just like tortured people and stuff. They usually come back in this kind of spirit. Honestly, what's interesting about that is that whole lore really isn't that different than what the Americanized, spiritual beliefs kind of run around. Some of them, not all of them, but that sense of abuse and just violence in terms of their demise tends to go over in the afterlife as a malevolent spirit. But specific to this, according to the legend, children walking alone at night may encounter a woman wearing a surgical mask, which is not an unusual sight in Japan. Well, it's not an unusual sight anywhere now,
right.
As people wear them to protect others from colds and sickness. So the woman will, or the yokai will stop a child and ask, "Am I pretty?" If the child says no, the child is killed with a pair of scissors, of which the woman carries. If the child answers yes, the woman pulls away the mask, revealing that her mouth is slit from ear to ear, and asks, "How about now?" If the child answers no, he or she will be cut in half. If the child answers yes, then she will sit. Wow, I got the. Forget it. She will slit his or her mouth just like her, and it's not possible to run away from her. as she will simply reappear in front of the victim.
So it's a lose-lose situation.
You can't, dude. There is no possible way to get rid of this thing.
By the way,
so what's really interesting, and I just want to get this point out really quick. What's really interesting, and I know Juhlopy, you seem to like horror like I do.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I've always found with a lot of the Japanese horror movies that I've seen is they are very much a lot of their horror is based around body horror. It's a lot of manipulated faces like this, slitting ear.
Right.
It's a lot of that. Have you ever seen the movie Annihilation?
No, I haven't.
Portman?
I have
see
not.
that. Fucking see that. Everyone.
I will.
This is not a horror movie. 100% not a horror movie. Fucking amazing movie. Didn't get enough credit. I think it came out when a bunch of other movies came out, so it just kind of got shut under the rug. Amazing soundtrack too. But basically, a lot of that movie it's a thriller, but they basically enter this area where kind of the entire surrounding environment has become cancerous. So their bodies are constantly manipulating, but they can't tell if it's their brain or it's actually that happening. That kind of stuff it's not a Japanese movie. This one, the Annihilation I'm referring to, but a lot of the Japanese horror films center a lot of their scares on just gross body manipulation. I mean, even the way they design characters like that. Yeah, I think someone mentioned The Grudge, kind of similar to that. Like they have, I think that is based off an urban legend. Crappy. I also know that this particular one, it was mentioned in The Ring, but it didn't. It wasn't the Ring it wasn't the Ring girl. But like, interestingly, like this particular yokai was mentioned in The Ring also.
Okay.
But yo, look what 2 Tears.
Yeah, I was just typing to him. I was just going. Yeah.
We just
but here's the thing. Due to terms of service, there's no possible way.
No fucking way.
That I can.
I'm not going to link it, but can you? How do you pronounce? What is it?
How do I pronounce it? I don't know. I know 2 Tears knows off the top of his head exactly what the yokai is called, but all of the depictions of it are super funny. This here is the cutest version of this that I found. This thing. If you Google search this yokai, I think it is horrifying. This is horrifying.
Oh, you mean the
thing that you put the Kuchisake? Yeah, the Kuchisake is I do not like it. I saw the photo and actually
I would say
it's not good.
The most comparable thing that you could find, and some of these urban legends, they like, especially with the advent of the internet, where all these stories are so easily transmissible, like across the world. There's a specific story. It's like a creepypasta or something like that. Basically, I think it's called like Jeff the Killer or something. And he has the same design, that slit to ear to ear thing. It's very fucking unsettling.
Yeah.
Also, as a question, if you encountered this, what would you do? What would be your decision? I'm saying no right away. I'm gonna say no.
I'm saying you're pretty. You mean if we're the kid?
If you're the yeah, but let's say you're not a kid. Let's say you're who you are now.
I'm saying you're pretty, because if somebody comes at me like that and is like, "Am I pretty?" Yeah, you're the prettiest person I've ever seen.
Okay, like, she removes your mask. Then now what?
Then you're hella pretty.
I die.
Obviously, if you say no, something bad is going to happen.
Hey, do you guys? Am I allowed to show like a costume version of this on Twitch?
Why not?
I mean, you have my permission.
Yeah, you have mine too.
Not sure it's valuable.
No, it is. You can do it.
Oh God, I hate it. I hate it so much.
Just put it up. Let me see it. I'm fucked either way. I'm kicking you in the crotch and run.
Yeah, but she's not gonna run from her.
You can. He's just gonna appear in front of you, no matter where you go.
Yeah, you can run, but you're not.
You
Gonna
can
get
run,
away.
but Two Tiers is actually saying don't risk it.
Oh, this is actually pretty dope.
Wait, did you post? Well, I didn't even see it yet.
It's on the stream.
Oh, shout out to I don't know who made this, but oh yeah, I've seen this.
Yeah, it makes me want to throw up, dude.
It's man, that's very realistic looking.
Oh no!
It's like the jokester.
Oh my goodness!
What? Yeah, I think they have made movies about this though.
Oh, I don't even like this, man.
Yo, Juhlopy, really quick, just check the Discord. I'm gonna post something for you. I looked up the what is it called?
Why is
the
it so
Shiriam.
big?
It's so big. It's a huge eyeball.
Yeah.
We can't post it, but you know. Oh man. Oh, I don't like that.
What?
Do not like that. That
No.
picture.
That I had up?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's like nauseating.
It's
That's
bad.
what nightmares are made of, for sure.
But see, this is what I'm talking about. That body horror shit.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that's a Japanese movie. Guarantee you that's a screenshot.
There was another movie kind of like that. I think was it called Shutter? Maybe.
Yeah.
About they had like these like blurry faces because like, every time they take the picture, it was something about their face they didn't want seen or something because it was
that was also part of The Ring too. The Ring. If you had your photo taken by the time you watched the haunted dude, The Ring is such a scary movie. Mm-hmm. However, the idea of it, if you explain it to somebody, it is by far the stupidest sounding movie. Don't watch this haunted VHS tape. What the fuck is that? That's stupid.
Let me ask you guys. If not, you have to do this for me. It's the only thing. I've never asked you guys for anything. Do this for me. If you get a chance, please watch the movie VHS.
I've already seen it, yeah.
Is it not the most trippy? I didn't know what I was watching.
It's fucking good.
It's trippy.
Yeah, I haven't. You know, I might watch that again.
They came out with a second one, I guess.
I'm sure that's probably garbage, though.
Probably, I haven't seen.
That doesn't seem like to me. That's not a movie that you make a one-off on. I think that's like, it's similar to like.
What it was.
Yeah, it's like, similar to how Blair Witch Project. Like, I think they did make a second one. I didn't see it because it's like you already made a basically perfect movie. You introduced an entire different way of like presenting films.
Right.
That it was like that.
It was just a money grab.
Yeah, it was. I mean, because the original movie like cost like nothing, like because it was literally just like not even good cameras like used.
Like look at Paranormal Activity. They filmed the whole movie for less than like $10,000 or something.
And then they made like all these others, and they probably upped the value and stuff. I remember Paranormal Activity actually scared. The first time I saw it, I was actually pretty scared.
The first one, the original one, is actually really good.
Yeah.
What's this? Paranormal Activity?
Yeah.
You talking?
Yeah. Pretty good.
I've got a thing here.
Mm-hmm.
To share.
Show us your thing.
You're up, dude.
Okay, so I'm gonna lump all of my remaining shit together because it's all kind of the same thing, and then I'll be done with my stuff. There are a few things, and this is where we get to the controversial part of the stream. So there is here in Connecticut, there is an archaeology site called Gunjiwamp that's carbon dated. Well, I mean the rocks. I don't know if you can carbon date a structure made of rocks. Can you do that? I mean, I know the stuff that they found in it they can carbon date.
Well, I know Juhlopy is an expert on this, so I'm gonna hand it over to him.
Yeah, I'm definitely not. I don't know. Yeah, that's all you're getting from me. I don't know.
So anyway, Um, if you
Thanks for
take
handing it over to me, though. I appreciate it.
I got you.
if you take a tour of Gunji Womp, you they tell you that it was a structure built by the Native Americans. Some whoever built this did such a good job. Fungal growth and moss on the rock. Okay. This was 2000 BC, what they carbon dated this to.
No.
What?
2000 BC is what
Show
they
me
were
this
saying.
shit. Pop this on. I want to see this shit.
Okay. So, let me just get a quick window capture going. Can I not select Windows photos? All right.
Huh?
No, I'm just having a technical.
Yeah, I never used the window capture. I just used display capture.
That's what. I tend to do that too.
Okay, let me do this then. So, Gunji Womp is.
I like that name a lot.
Yeah, it has. I save photos and stuff, so I didn't have to do this. It sucks. All right. Here is the basic structure. This is a basic structure. Not super impressive, but it only gets better from here. I assure you. This here is a. Now, when I say this is a site, I mean like very seriously. There are quite a few things like, so here's a like a ruins here.
Okay.
And here's the thing. This is what it seems more, and again, I'm not saying anything about it, but this seems more of a European thing. From what I understand, on the solstice, the light shines in on a specific rock.
What rock?
This rock over here. So the window, the light, the beam of light actually goes to a specific spot. So the thing is nobody knows who built this. It's credited to the Native Americans, which likely, they were here, so why not them, There's also theories that a race of giants built it. I was reading about. We can get into that some other time.
Yeah, I know about all that.
And then there's also that Vikings and or the Knights Templar put this up. And this is
because I don't. It definitely doesn't seem like Native American architecture.
So
I was going to say, Native American does not look like it's.
So
I mean,
I don't.
Could be.
The thing is I know the Southwest First Nations used stone very well, very, very, very well. It's just up here in the Northeast, You know,
Yeah,
it's a lot. You never hear about it. And I'm not saying it's impossible, obviously. I'm just saying that, you know, um,
I mean,
it
the craziest thing is that it's still like so intact though.
yes.
I was gonna say it's
Like
very
how
well
is it
preserved.
like how is it? It doesn't even seem like it's really gotten affected much at all over time.
So here's a really interesting part. There is a spot within the site that is called the Hill of Tears.
Okay.
And people who have walked up this hill, there's a boulder on top of it, have just started having an emotional reaction. They just start crying. And they don't really know why.
I would like to know
How
if they knew about that story before they went up that hill.
Beforehand. Yeah, I was thinking I had the exact question.
Because
So-
the mind is insane, dude. I mean, it's
Oh yeah.
trust me.
it's the placebo effect. Like it's gonna be, you know, the
Trust-
expectation. It's like, oh, I heard people cry up going up this hill, you know.
I get it, but there's actually a physical thing to blame.
Oh,
There,
what?
Yeah,
Really?
there is. There is a magnetic field at this point. If you bring like some sort of device to measure the magnetic field, it goes. It's crazy. It goes up and down. It's nuts. It's actually bonkers. So
Where is this again?
it's called Gunjiwamp. It's in Groton, Connecticut.
Well, let's just take a trip to Connecticut, guys.
Yo, I mean, that's literally.
I live.
He's
in Connecticut,
there.
You're there.
So
I'm like like an hour or two away from it. So sure,
but the thing is, yeah, there's a magnetic field that fluctuates, and it's really erratic, and people believe that that's what people are feeling. That's why they feel this weird thing, and they end up becoming emotional because they can't explain it, and they start crying.
That's insane.
So that's Gunjiwamp, and there's a lot of different sites there, but you know, I'm trying to keep it concise. And I got some other things I want to discuss. In Rhode Island, there's another.
Wait, hold on a second. I'm sorry. I'm reading up on this right here.
On Gunjiwamp?
One of these root cellars, also known as the calendar chamber, has an astronomical feature where an inner alcove is illuminated during the equinoxes by the alignment of a hole in the west wall, through which the sun shines upon a lighter stone on the opposite side, radiating illumination within a smaller beehive-shaped chamber. So
Yeah,
wait,
the picture that I saw, that I showed you, there's actually there's a very small round room next to it. That actually,
and it's basically saying that it's like that reflection of the light lights that room up.
yes.
Fuck, dude, that's sick.
That's why I mean that's a very European.
That's some like national treasure shit right there.
Well, you want to talk national treasure? Boy, do I have something for you. We are about to discuss something called the Newport Tower. This is a tower that is in Rhode Island. Can you guys see this?
We'll have to wait.
Yes.
Okay, so the Newport Tower is
That's cool looking.
It is one of the more controversial places in Rhode Island. This is said to have either been built by a local farmer, and it was a grain mill.
Holy shit!
Okay, it was a local grain mill, which to me is horseshit, and I'm gonna show and tell you why. I'm gonna zoom in here. I'm gonna cover you guys up. Look at the detail of the rock You have to know geometry in order to build this tower.
That arch, dude.
You have
out of your fucking mind?
have to know geometry in order to build this. You do. No farmer in Newport, Rhode Island is going to be not shit-brained enough to build this. It's you know what I'm saying?
And that's a fact.
And here's where it gets really exciting. You see this here?
What? I'm like on delay. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Can you just describe it to me?
Here, let me. I'll blow it up way big.
Yeah.
So, this round rock in the center. You see what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Okay, so when you in masonry, that's called a keystone. All right. And it's very symbolic, and when the master of the project gets the honor of placing the keystone. This keystone here, you will notice, has an edge. It goes up on the left, and it cuts in on a diagonal, and then goes up, and then it's flat on the top, and then it cuts in on a diagonal, and goes out, and then on the right-hand side, and then goes down. That's an interesting shape. Have you guys ever seen that shape before?
I can't. Honestly, I'm not even sure where I'm looking.
Yeah.
What am I looking at? Is it the
You see the archway, the one on the left, not the leftmost, but the one that's facing the camera.
Yeah.
The very top. That's called a keystone.
Yes. Right.
There's a round one and the one underneath it. That is literally, and I hate to spoil anybody's time or whatever, that's literally the symbol for a Mark Master Mason, even in Freemasonry today.
Really?
And I will show you a couple of things. Now, the legend of the Freemasons is that the Knights Templar, when they were outcast and they started being exterminated, they went, since they knew geometry, they went to be stonecutters and builders, masons, and then they mixed their religion with the job, and that's why you get all the symbolism of National Treasure or the Da Vinci Code or whatever, and then that's where all that stuff comes from, because there are actual legends and stuff like this, is a little bit of proof. Now, I believe that this could have been truly a church that the Knights Templar were building pre-Columbus.
Could be.
Okay, I do.
Why not?
And the reason being is, here is what let's see, I can.
Now, are you sure this guy just wasn't a big Plinko fan?
Could have been.
Yeah, it definitely could have been.
Could have been. I'm like astonished at those archways, dude.
Right?
That's so, like, it was the same thing when I was in Italy and I first saw the Duomo. Like, it's like, even that, it's a similar effect. Like, I don't understand. Like, did they use, like, what are they using to kind of keep those in place? Like, what is the adhesive they were typically using at the time?
Well, they would use a mortar.
Okay.
Of some kind, but they would also use
It's made when?
So it depends. Okay, this is what a typical church would look like. A Knights Templar church. Okay.
Okay.
All right, and we are, well, better not show that.
Oh.
That's not far-fetched, is it?
No, that's not far fetched.
Okay, so that's now this window here and this window here is important.
Yeah, it like they match up.
Now you know if you are on the
Even the top one, dude.
if
The
you
bottom
are
one and the top.
Yeah.
the bottom one here,
Yep.
which would be this
Yes.
Easter.
And then the one above that.
On Easter, the morning of Easter, the light goes through and shines on a keystone on the other side that looks exactly like an egg.
Damn.
Here is a picture of the sun going right through the thing. And oh, here is the keystone of the egg-shaped. This is the egg-shaped keystone. Now, that's on Easter morning. And I also have a couple of other photos here I would like to share with you. This is the Bornholm Church. This was built.
Two cheers is right though. That's a
Bro,
good point. It's a good point.
that's not how that works. This is a Knights Templar church.
The little window at the top sells it for me.
This is
That's what I'm saying. Once I saw
the-
the tiny one, I was like, wait, that's fucked up.
this is the
'Cause that's
interior.
so specific. Like that's
Yeah.
like a very
Okay, that here's a church. This is the round Cambridge church. This is also built by the Knights Templar. You see what I'm saying?
yeah. No,
Yeah.
I see it.
No, I 100%.
This is this is Cambridge. This is inside of that church. So what I'm saying is the possibility of this being it could be a pre-Columbus evidence that maybe Columbus wasn't the first white guy to be over here. There's also evidence over
Breaking
in
news.
in-
I thought didn't the Vikings come there before?
Leif
Columbus?
Erikson was supposed to have been over here. The
Yeah, I
Knights
think- isn't that
Templar was
common-
supposed.
I think that's accepted though, isn't it?
Nobody acknowledges it though. Why
I
is
do.
Columbus? Why? And not only that, every
Because
time.
that's all they taught you in school
Listen,
growing up. was
if you-
Dude,
Columbus,
all they do is
Columbus.
jerk off about Christopher
Search.
Columbus, dude.
Search Christopher Columbus,
Dude's a
the
bitch.
Mayflower. Search any of his ships. They're always
He's
painted.
very much hated nowadays. I hear.
They're
I hear.
all painted with a red cross
Jalopy.
on the sails. They're,
I don't know. I'm oblivious to the world these days. I
If-
just play video games.
I'm telling you. Look up the sails of Christopher Columbus's ship. They're all painted with a red cross. That is a symbol of what? The Knights Templar.
Jeep.
That was
I was
not
gonna
a
say
symbol
Jeebus.
of Jeep. And then what was the other thing that I wanted to talk about? Oh, this.
This is gonna be. Is this gonna be like a climax moment? Like you're
Yes,
gonna,
you
really
want to
pop
you want
off?
to you want to talk about Knights Templar. You want to talk about Vikings here in America. This here is in Rhode Island. It's in Narragansett Bay. This is called the Narragansett Runestone. Okay,
Okay.
that's it. You're just gonna say okay? These are
I don't know what I'm
fucking
looking-
Norse
What
runes.
is?
These are Norse runes on a rock out in the middle of Narragansett Bay. Well, not the middle.
Where
but
do they? Where in the? Was it like? On the? Was it like? On the shore or like where was this found?
here's the guys looking at it. It's next to the shore here, but I keep clicking that same thing. But this is where the actual runes are, and there's the shore, and it's like they put a sign here.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's fucking weird.
Okay, And this is what it is. Also, this here, this X with the tail on it. Guess what? Knights Templar symbol. This it dates back to ancient Egypt, actually, because it's supposed to be it's supposed to be the hook and the scourge. You know the things that the sarcophagus holds across its body. It's got the
Yep.
hook and then the whip.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it. That's an old.
That's fucking interesting, man.
So this here. And again, somebody stole this.
Are you serious?
Somebody stole this
that?
giant thing. I think they got it back, but somebody stole this. Yes. Anyway, it's
How?
a 7-foot boulder. I don't know. It's almost like who would have
When
would
was he
have-
stolen?
a few years ago? Who would have the money to move a giant boulder
Right.
out of the water without anybody
Without being
noticing?
caught. Yeah.
Kind of creepy, right? It's almost like
Clearly it's aliens.
that or somebody who doesn't want Christopher Columbus to go down in history as
That could be a number of people.
yeah, it could be Plymouth, Massachusetts, and their tourist money. You imagine that? They're like,
And they're
we can't have this runestone being shown around because we'll lose, Plymouth Rock money. People,
Right.
and people can go
How
and they
are
can.
we gonna handle the upkeep? Yeah, you know how expensive it is to upkeep Plymouth Rock. Come on, dude. Everybody knows that. Hell yeah, dude. I love.
Two Tiers is out here talking about.
The real reason we champion Columbus in the U.S. schools is actually because Italian Americans use his legacy as a pawn to assimilate into U.S. culture.
Yep, that is actually true. Oh, the other person that could have built the Newport Tower was John Dee, and he has quite the legacy too. We're going to talk about him sometime. He was a mystic. He was a genius and an advisor to the Queen Elizabeth. And
What?
yeah, and he was the original 007. He was actually the real 007. Oh, and he thought he created an entire system of magic where you can talk to angels. So we're gonna cover John Dee sometime here on Beyond the Veil.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
8-Bit, close us off. Tell us about what you got.
Oh, I got some stuff, dude. What do I want to start with?
I
do
can
one-
listen to these stories literally all day.
We'll do an easy one. I'm gonna end it with the highest note, in my opinion. I mean, it's fine. So
Juhlopy, I want to be able to get you out of here on time. You know what I mean?
I have
Yeah,
no
like-
time. Do your thing, man. We're chilling.
okay.
I mean, I'm having fun. I'm not trying to rush you off. It's just I don't know, because you asked me. It's like, how long is that? And I
Hey,
was like, I don't want to go long-winded.
I set myself aside for you guys today.
Appreciate
Damn.
you, dude.
How fucking solid is this guy? Would you follow this guy's Twitch channel?
Yeah, let's get another shout out in chat, dude.
Do it now.
Thank you for having me. This is awesome.
Do it now. Okay.
So I think I spelled it right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's actually a good transition from what Belb was talking about, specifically regarding the Native Americans in one of his previous urban legends. But
Oh, I thought you were going to say something about Nicolas Cage. I was like, oh, please.
oh, dude, I'll look that up for. Oh, actually, there is an urban legend about. People say he's a time traveler.
He
There's
is.
a picture.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Yes,
He's-
I've
there
seen
is-
that.
dude. That's spooky.
That's the one.
Yeah. Anyway,
It looks exact, dude. It looks exactly.
it's
like,
spooky.
In fairness, it does look exactly. Like,
It's
Like
so cool.
identical.
it's like crazy how accurate that. So this is gonna be a brief one, honestly. Bill, if you want to pull up, I believe I have a picture. The Wendigo. I think I just put one like just as an example. I think it's just gonna bring up a Google search page. It's just gonna have a bunch of different pictures of it just to get an idea of what this fucking thing is. So just as a description, this is from Native American lore amongst a lot of Algonquin tribes, and it's a fucking disgusting creature that they. It seems to be something that like is just like accepted as fucking real because there's numerous tribes that are saying this. I don't know how widespread this is. They could have just been one tribe telling the others and stuff like that. But essentially, just to read just for imagery's sake, the Wendigo was gaunt to the point of emaciation, and basically it looked like its like skin was just like oh there you go. It honestly is probably a really good example. That was probably the best image that I could find to represent it most accurately. Essentially, it was it would come to your fucking village and just eat. It was a cannibal. It just fucking ate anything, and it was never satisfied. It was just
because it's got a big ass hole in its stomach.
It's got a big ass hole. Yeah,
it's always starving. That's the thing.
Well, that's what they call it. They call it. He's basically the representation of just hunger.
Yes. So
which is
in Native American lore, this is like the hunger demon essentially. If I was going to put a European word to it.
Yeah, and just the descriptions like alone, like even without that picture, the imagery that a lot of these the documents provide that the provided by the tribes is like incredibly graphic in terms of what it looks like. Like for example, it was a large creature as tall as a tree with a lipless mouth, jagged teeth. Its breath was a strange hiss. Its footprints full of blood, and it ate any man, woman, or child who ventured into its territory. And those were the lucky ones. Sometimes the Wendigo chose to possess a person instead. Yeah, apparently when I chose this, I didn't even realize that. So basically, they would become a Wendigo, kind of like a werewolf situation. So it'd be interesting to see how much influence that actually had, like with werewolves. I don't even know how werewolves came about. This seems like something that probably had a heavy influence on it.
This here is a
See, that's creepy to me, man.
This is a
oh, I don't like that.
This is a non deer head version of it, where a lot of it is portrayed as a deer head guy.
Yeah, the one thing I would say about this is that one of the descriptions that they make really fucking clear is that the eyes are like pushed very far back. If they did that with this, I think it probably this also looks pretty accurate to like how the descriptions were made in the legends. But yeah,
imagine that thing running towards you,
bro,
at night when you were walking down the street.
Dude, I don't want to imagine that. That's fucked up. You know what I don't like about this one, and in the sense that it fucking creeps me out, is it has that what's that Mortal Kombat fighter?
Oh, Baraka.
Baraka's was it his? Yeah. He has those fucking those pin teeth.
Those pin teeth.
Who's the girl?
With no lips? That's Melina.
But
but they're both Tarkatans.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've played Mortal Kombat before.
Once or twice.
So yeah, there have still been people that say that this is still a thing. 1907 apparently.
They're saying as tall as a tree? Like a big tree? What kind of tree are we talking about here?
Dude, I mean, from
Christmas
what they describe,
like
it's incredibly tall. There's no...
Well, it looks like it's
as tall as a
house in this picture.
Bro,
yeah.
It's
big.
By description,
it's supposed to be
big.
big.
Fucking huge.
And all it would do is
just even scarier.
It will just gobble up everybody.
Dude, because even if it walks, dude, if it based on its height alone, it could just like walk to you even at like a full sprint. It's fucking gigantic. So yeah, that's the Wendigo. It's not not the most in-depth urban legend, but still interesting
though.
nonetheless. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a size comparison of from a comic book here. I mean, that's big. That will outrun you every day.
Oh, I like that depiction.
Yeah,
it's fucking gross.
Yep, this will outrun you every single day of the week.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not outrunning it. You're not climbing away from it. You're not.
Yeah, you're done. You're done.
Unless you fight it. You see its legs. You see how its legs are.
It's made for running.
It's made. Yeah, they're long. I'm telling you, if it used its front arms, also
to run on all fours. Well, yeah, because it's got really long arms.
Its stride for one stride to another would be like 50 feet, but running, but running like a. Yeah,
I think it also did run all sprinting, from what I understand.
Yes,
but most of the time it was walking upright like that, like an asshole.
just being a dick.
Just being a fucking dick. Yeah, dude, it's fucked. I'm glad that urban legend is no longer around. People, I didn't want to live in a world where
it kind of gives me like a chupacabra feel, but like
yeah.
Way bigger.
Hey, I thought you said you only knew about the Mothman. You're over here saying chupacabra.
Only reason I know chupacabra is because I was on an episode of Workaholics that was about a chupacabra.
Oh shit! Okay, cool.
And
that's a good way to find out.
I got to hold this like fake chupacabra thing, and it was really cool. So I learned all about that. I didn't know that was technically an urban legend, though.
Yeah,
100%.
It's a cryptoid. They call it cryptozoology, the study of animals that don't exist.
I have so this is a good segue into the next one, just to get this one, because the last one I want to do is I just want to kind of blow through this. This is also a cryptoid, but it's my home state. Well, now it's my home state. I'm not from here, but I moved here. But it's the Jersey Devil, which is fucking insane because this caused mass fucking panic when it was, believed to be extraordinarily real. Because this has been, I think, it first came about like 250 years ago. This particular one, there were numerous sightings, even to this day, apparently. But it doesn't seem to specifically target people. It's more a cryptoid that targets people's crops, their livestock, and stuff like that. So
is that like wings on its back, or is that just a shadow?
Yes, those are wings. It's like a flying goat guy.
It's like a flying goat thing. I don't fucking know.
Like a gargoyle looking thing.
I mean, yes, exactly like a gargoyle.
It's kind of exactly like that. Yeah.
To be fair, I also target people's crops and livestock, so you can't hate it.
I mean, we at the end of the day, we all do.
Yeah,
we all do. But it was South Jersey folklore, and
Jersey Devil.
And it's crazy that, like I said, not the crazy. It's still interesting that this even came about, and it literally, like I said, it caused like mass panic.
Yep.
Like, everyone fucking believed.
Isn't that long ago for that to have happened?
Yeah, but it's crazy that it's had such a huge impact on the cultural identity of I guess New Jersey in general, because they made their hockey team after this fucking.
Yep. The Jersey Devils.
It still lives on. They named their fucking team the New Jersey Devils.
Yep.
And obviously now it's just an interesting tidbit of history. But thinking back, like, it is insane to think.
What is their mascot? Is it like one of these?
No, it's like a devil. It's like a cartoon devil with like a pickaxe and
they can't have like realistic things now.
No,
realistic looking.
I mean, that would be dude.
That would be
should be their mascot.
Imagine they actually used the goat.
That would be dope.
That would be dope.
Yo,
I would be a fan.
Yo,
I would bail on the Islanders. I would go. If they said we're changing to our Jersey Devil to a more realistic thing, I'd be like, fuck it, dude. I'm a Jersey fan now.
check this guy out. That should be the mascot. This is an old picture of the.
To be alive.
You know what that reminds me of, and this also goes into the permeation of it into modern culture. That reminds me of Lucy from Disenchantment.
Yeah, it does.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Very like with the tail, everything. It looks very similar.
Yep, it's very. It's just like Lucy.
Right? That's crazy.
Yep.
Okay. So, go ahead.
But yeah, those are the more famous photos of the thing.
There's really not, honestly, there's not too many when I was looking for it.
There's
because again, this is when this was like popular. This was, like I said, 250 years ago, and I really can't understate. Like, if you look this shit up, like this was like believed by like everybody that this is fucking real. So people were like freaking the fuck out. Like, it's funny because what's crazy about it is like I would imagine that this story being constantly said from farmer to farmer or what have you, like they would dismiss anything like normal as an explanation as to where their crops or where their livestock's going and replace it with like, no, it must have been the fucking Jersey Devil. it was that like widespread that it was like, yeah, no, it couldn't have been a fucking a coyote that came through and ate this.
Right.
That must have been the fucking Jersey Devil, dude.
Wow.
Yeah. And people, like Belb said, there's really isn't. That game looks sick. Is it any good?
Probably not. I can't imagine it's any good.
Hold on, let me really.
Or it's the best game ever.
Yeah.
I want to see if people say about it. 3 out of 5 on it's GameStop reviews though.
Yo,
imagine really quick. Imagine buying a game based on the GameStop review.
Dude, everybody's so salty on anything GameStop. Everybody just screams. There's no conversation.
It's either that or it's just all 5 stars. And I've seen it for games that should not be getting fucking 5 stars. Period. Should be getting like 1 star. Same with like it's just many of these retail reviews.
I can't go on reviews for anything. Movies, video games. I have to experience it myself.
Yeah. You should. Basically, when I do brand new games, I'll look at the reviews, and see what it's doing, and then Twitch. You just go right on Twitch, see how the game's being played, see if the gameplay looks like if you'd like it. Mm-hmm. That's what I judge whether or not I'm gonna buy it on is gameplay that I see on Twitch.
Just before I get to the last one, let me really quickly just say that the perfect example is, and I bring this up constantly, is how bad the reviews were for Wolfenstein Youngbloods, and me and MrBelb.
It was good.
It's all personal preference. That's it.
But it's crazy because it got like critically ripped apart, and I was like,
it was shit on. And the thing is like,
and then I played. I was like, what do they want? It's this co-op Wolfenstein. What the fuck were you thinking it was right?
Was it a little goofy here and there?
Oh my god, I didn't like their banter. They were annoying as fuck.
Yeah,
but
it was cringy. But the thing is not only that, it was a half-price game.
Yeah,
it was only like a $30. It was like a $30 game.
Bro, I think I got it for
it's the internet. People aren't happy unless they're just complaining.
But here's the thing: it was a $30 game that came with an extra code, so you could give it to your friend to play with them. You know what I'm saying?
So what like who does like?
What's the problem?
Does that? What company does that?
Bethesda.
That's how it is with It Takes Two.
Yeah,
oh, really?
So there you go.
Buy one and then you give it's a friend pass, so you can play because it's a co-op.
Gotcha.
Did you guys hear that?
Was that thunder?
That was thunder.
Did hear that. Oh.
Holy shit, dude. What? Okay, this is gonna be a good way to end it then. Okay.
A hurricane?
Last thing.
That it's supposed to be coming.
What the?
Last thing we're gonna talk about, and this is gonna be super creepy. I'm gonna do my best to explain it as much as possible without going too much depth. Again, this one is also based in New Jersey, and it's known as The Watcher. So let me just kind of give it the opening sequence here. One night in June 2014. I mean, it's published in this article, but I'm just going to not read their last names because I don't want to. Derek, we'll call him Smith. Derek Smith had just finished an evening of painting at his new home in Westfield, New Jersey, when he went outside to check the mail. By the way, they just bought this house. Derek and his wife, Maria, had closed on a 6-bedroom house at 657 Boulevard 3 days earlier and were doing some renovation before they moved in. So there wasn't much in the mail except for a few bills and a white card-shaped envelope. It was addressed in thick, clunky handwriting to, in quotes, the new owner, and the typed note inside began warmly. Dearest new neighbor at 657 Boulevard, allow me to welcome you to the neighborhood. So, totally fine, seems fine. But as Derek kept reading, the letter from his new neighbor took a turn with this. 657 has been the subject of my family for decades now, and now it approaches its 110th birthday. I have been put in charge of watching and waiting for its second coming. My grandfather watched the house in the 1920s, and my father watched it in the 1960s. It is now my time. Do you know the history of the house? Do you know what lies within the walls of 67 Boulevard? Why are you here? I will find out. Okay?
What the?
So, they move in, and they immediately get these letters. And it goes on. This isn't even the end of the letter. The letter identified the family's Honda minivan, as well as the workers renovating the home, and quoted saying, I see already you have flooded 657 Boulevard with contractors so that you can destroy the house as it was supposed to be. And he says, tisk, 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 bad move. You don't want to make 657 Boulevard unhappy. And then he says, or they say, the letter writer seemed to have noticed you have children. I have seen them. So far, I think there are 3 that I've counted. The anonymous correspondent wrote before asking if there were more on the way. So he said, and then to quote this guy, he says, or she says, I think they believe it's a he because there's there's a few thoughts, but it's also people have paranormal opinions on this too. In the same letter, do you need to fill the house with young blood I requested? Better for me. Was your old house too small for the growing family, or was it agreed that to bring me your children? Once I know their names, I will call to them and draw them to me. So that's the setup. That's fucked up, right?
Yeah.
Already? So this goes on. I think the next letter came in about 2 weeks. Same fucking, stuff, saying things like, have you found all the secrets that the house holds? Will the young blood play in the basement, or are they too afraid to go down there alone? I would be afraid if I were them. It's very far away from the rest of the house. So this person, or like I said, people have paranormal thoughts on this because they can't find any specific indication as to who is doing this. They still haven't figured it out. I don't think they ever fucking will. In fact, they just apparently, looking at this up today, the house just sold, I think, a couple of years ago. So good luck to those new house owners, and hopefully they don't have to deal with the watcher. So they basically tried to sell the house, but this whole thing blew up, and the person kept sending letters regularly. And as time went on, what's really interesting about this too is the person writes in this weird, almost old English style.
Of course they do. Of course they do. Why wouldn't you? If you're protecting some sort of haunted house, bodies in the walls or something, of course you're gonna have these and thous.
Yeah.
Shakespearean, almost.
So basically, there was a few people that they thought it might be, but there was a point where the person started including pictures and stuff. One of them being a super close-up photograph, a Polaroid of one of the children painting on their easel or whatever, and saying something. She looks like the artist of the house, and that was the end of the letter. And just for context, I don't know if you can. This is I can't really. I'm just gonna send it in here. Belb can probably blow it up in the thing. This is where the easel was. So just something about this window freaks me the fuck out. And essentially the picture would have been taken like right at this window here.
That's crazy.
And
that's a creepy window. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a whole creepy room.
It's fucked up. I don't like any the vibes of the house.
Like that's the window you see at the top of a haunted house in a movie, like at the
like Amityville Horror House.
Yeah, this is Amityville Horror House.
I lived very close to the Amityville Horror.
Really?
So that window was taken out because they constantly have people rolling up to it and like trying to just sit outside and just like that's the fucking house from the movie. So that window is fucking gone. Wow. An iconic window gone. Which is good. Like I feel bad for people that have to deal with that.
Yeah, but you also know what you're buying.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know what I mean?
So this is the window that 8-Bit was talking about. This is a second floor window.
Looks like it. Because I feel like that's the roof.
So the person, from what the photograph, I can't find the photograph. I don't think they actually published the photograph, but essentially by description, it was like online. So they might have just been like somehow climbed the house and didn't get noticed. I don't fucking know, dude. It's fucking weird.
I wonder if
they had a mega zoom lens.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I wonder if there was like there's a.
My understanding was that it was like a Polaroid, and it didn't look like. I mean, maybe you might be right. It could have been a really good zoom lens or something like that. I guess. One of the suspects was the neighbor, who literally, by the way, had a history of going to neighbors' lawns and looking in their windows. And this guy was written off as a suspect. And I still don't really understand why.
Why?
And he also lived
with be suspect number 1.
He also lived with his like dying mother. She's like super fucking old, and his like 2 or 3 siblings, all in the same house. They were all like grown adult. They were like very old, and they were all just like hanging out in this fucking house. And like, it was just like, you got this guy. He's saying, my father watched this house. He's passed, and now it's my turn. And it's like, this lines up way too well. And he died, dude. He literally died like I think a year before this. So like that sequence of events was literally lines up perfect.
So why would they
so when I was reading about this, basically the reason, this is my understanding, and I still don't fully grasp how this works, but essentially all of the evidence that they had, because this person, like, there were no fingerprints on anything, like it was all just clean, so there was no way to indicate that this person was the suspect, so they didn't have enough evidence to get a warrant or anything to search the person's premises. So the guy, I'm willing to bet it was this fucking guy, but he just got away with it. He terrified these neighbors, and it got to the point, right? Like, and this is the writer would constantly taunt them and be like, I bet you're wondering who I am. Hundreds of
shit.
Yeah, he's like hundreds of drive past to be a mark, you'll never know. It could be me looking out one of the neighborhood windows. You'll never know. All this stuff, and it's like, dude, that is not only like,
that's disturbing.
That is not only it's not only like psychologically disturbing in the fact that you have someone stalking you, and your fucking family, but the person, this master fucking manipulator piece of shit, like,
they're taunting.
He's making this family scared of the entire fucking world. Like, you're never gonna get over that this experience ever, no matter, because I think they've since moved. There was a while where they didn't even like go to the house. They were like staying in, like, I don't know if it's family house, like, family ties that they were staying with, or I think there was a few when they were staying at hotels and stuff. Just because of the fact, it's like, I mean, I wouldn't want to fucking go back. I'm like, if a guy kept sending me letters being like, yo, I was watching you play games last night. I'm like, oh sweet, you're watching you're watching my stream. He goes, no, and then sends me a Polaroid of like outside my fucking window.
Right.
Bro, I'm leaving this house.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
moving away immediately.
If they find that person, fine, dude. I'm not fucking. That dude's taking pictures of me while I'm playing video games.
Because I've had people come into my chat and say that. There's look out your window, yada yada. That
well,
kind of
yeah,
stuff.
but that right.
But like, I've never had anybody send me a picture from right outside my window. That would be fucking creepy.
That's
that would be
definitely
beyond, dude.
That's a bigger deal.
Yeah.
People have said. People have told me. I'm outside your house or
I'm
whatever.
outside your house. That happened to me on stream once. I swear to God, this past year, it happened to me. Somebody came in, said, "I'm outside. Look out your window," and then literally, not even 30 seconds later, somebody knocked on my door. I lived in this place where nobody knew where I lived. Literally nobody. I didn't know anybody at this apartment complex. It was a gated complex. Couldn't get in. Somebody knocked on my door while I'm live on stream right after this was said. And you can ask Skylar. She saw it. And I went and I opened the door, and it was this gigantic man. He was African American. He was probably 6'4", 300 pounds, like just a linebacker. You know what I mean? And I just opened the door, and I was just like, can I help you? Turns out he was my neighbor, and he was like locked out. And he just needed.
Dude, that's
but like,
oh my God.
But like the
timing. I would have shit my fucking pants.
Did you tell him what had happened?
No. I was.
I would have told him everything.
I was
like, dude, you're not gonna fucking believe what just happened.
The main reason I didn't is because I didn't want people in the complex to even know about my stream. I didn't want people to like, you know what I mean? I kind of keep that stuff private. Like, yeah,
because they have weird rules in some apartment complexes, right? Where they're like, you can't have a business,
right?
Or,
yeah, I don't know. I just don't like people to know where I live. I just like having the privacy of, because like that could have turned into a situation where what if he's like a crazy guy and he's like wanting to come over to my apartment every day and be on my stream every day and all that weird stuff. Like, I don't know. People are weird.
And then you tell him, hey man, I'm just doing a solo stream tonight.
Right.
And then he messaged your chat being like, outside.
Yeah. I'm outside.
And then you look out your window and he's staring at you.
He's just standing there in the rain.
All right. Well, this was we're hitting close to 9. I don't know if Juhlopy, you streaming tonight?
Yeah, probably here in a little bit.
Cool. I mean, Bill, any like, you want to go back to the main screen and we can just do final thoughts, say anything, shout outs and shit. Bill's like, no.
Urban legends.
One of the things, and I just want to say this, one of the things that I do doing, and I'm hoping we can get a segment in next time. This might, I think we'll probably have more time next time because it seems like the topic is kind of open-ended. But I do want to open up to Discord calls and stuff at some point. And Belb, like, you know, is that something you want to? I don't know. We can maybe set it up and just like, if you want to be on a call, if you want to call in, we'll set something up. I think we'll figure it out.
That'd be really cool.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah,
I really wanted to do that. We wanted to do that from the get go, but
yeah, I want
up so much time talking.
I want to do open lines.
That's really cool.
But yeah, thank you to Juhlopy for
Juhlopy, thank you
spending the time with us. Seriously, if you guys aren't following him, he's one of the best streamers you'll find, dude. Seriously, solid.
Talk about an urban legend.
Dude, this guy. If you want to talk about an urban legend, dude, this is the guy. Just go fucking follow him, dude. I mean, what's the problem? This is what I'm saying, and this is all I'm gonna say about it. You don't have to pay any money to follow someone. Juhlopy's going to give you entertainment, dude. Sure, you can go sub his channel. You can throw him bits, do all that shit. But first and foremost, follow this guy. I mean,
Thank you.
what are you doing?
What are you? Are you a bitch?
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry,
That's what I'm saying.
I can't steal that from MrBelb, but I absolutely love it.
I'm doing my best to hold my tongue because it's not even funny. Follow the channel. It's not even funny. Just do it.
It is funny. Just do it.
Are you
Nike style?
Are you a moron?
No.
You fucking
Thank you guys. No, seriously, thank you guys so much for the kind words, and thank you again for having me on the show. This was a blast. I would love to come back on again sometime.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Especially if you're ever talking about ghosts, because
I'm sure we'll revisit ghosts.
I love ghost stories.
I mean,
I love all that stuff.
If you didn't see the last one, but like, there's such infinite material for ghosts. Literally, I'm in so many subreddits for this. Like, people are just like, "Yo, is this a ghost?" We could literally do an entire stream of just me giving Belb like things that I found of people.
Just
Reddit
deep dive.
It's it. I mean, it's really that simple. Like, it's something we can debunk or not. So yeah, I'd probably love to have you again. I would love to do another ghost one. Belb knows that I love ghosts.
It's all he ever talks about. Ghosts and pasta salad. That's it.
Ghost, to be fair.
Dude, all I talk about is ghosts on my stream. Follow me, dumbasses.
Yep. 8-bit raindrops. You better follow him, bitch.
Follow both of these guys. Thank you.
Follow me.
In the chat, by the way.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you everyone for hanging out in chat. Yeah, for real. Everyone staying around.
So
I wish Juhlopy started his stream now so we could just segue into rating him.
Yeah, that'd be sick. But
I'm gonna go grab some food and maybe take a poo.
Oh wow.
Damn, dude, hell yeah, that's an urban legend. No one poops, dude.
I know.
So, urban legends.
Urban legends.
They're pretty sick.
They're fucking sick, dude.
So anyway, I guess we will see you next time.
Laters, everybody.
Beyond the veil.
Bye, guys.
Said the thing.
It's the most delicious sparkling water you'll have. It's just a little bit of fruit juice, bro.
All right.
A little bit.
I'm back.